Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Chat jumped right over. Am I going to have an echo or not?
Sure, why not?
If it, no, I don't think I do. Yeah, I do.
Why not?
The night wouldn't be the same. The stream wouldn't be the same without an echo. Why do I have Doug showing? What the heck?
How else would life work is my favorite saying.
I clicked on my go live and Doug Betts thing came up from this morning. Maybe it's not going to be a good night. Here we go. I got Oop showing. So that. Here we go.
Which Doug?
Live from the Tony Wallow Studios. It's the Ken Stout Live Show featuring the Zoom homies.
I don't know if that was
produced by LK Productions.
Or if I want to give a Windows tip Doug. So hard to say. Hard to say. All right. Looks pretty good. We'll see how. Wait, what the heck? Why is there half of Greg's? Now that's interesting. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's Twidget. So, hi Mike. Hi Chris.
Hey.
Robert.
Hello.
Jose.
Hello, Ken.
Greg. Good evening.
Evening.
Let me go see if I can fix this quick problem. Wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have some kind of problem.
A.
So, Chris, are you feeling okay first and foremost?
No.
I didn't think so. Did your keyboard get stuck on something or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that happened then.
Well, he sent me a message and all it had was 13,000 eights in it. I'm like, what? So Greg Guy was second. Tony Wallow was first. Robert Michael looks to be third. Mike Peridun was fourth. John Aloy Sr., good to see you. It is Friday night, and he was fifth. So welcome in, everyone, to Friday night. Surprised the professor's not here. I wonder where he's at.
Celebrating?
No, he is not.
Mm.
That I can assure you, he is not.
He's not where?
He's not celebrating.
He might be in Pittsburgh.
I doubt it very seriously. We just got
Maybe
off a messenger about an hour and 5 minutes ago, so maybe this is he joining out. Nope, that'd be BH Ringer. Huh. Well, I know he's anxious to tell everyone what happened today.
That right there makes a good foot prop. It's one of those blue containers you store things in.
So what was the deal about the eights? Just forgot to let go of the button or what?
I don't know.
Oh, so is there a story behind this?
I saw it like that and I just said I'm gonna send it anyway.
Oh, well, that's fine. I got it just as we were pulling in the garage and I seen it. I'm like, I sure hope he's all right. How was everybody's Friday?
Oh,
mine was great. Thank you for asking.
You probably went to Bottoms
It
Up.
was a beautiful day and we're above ground, so we're doing pretty good.
That's true. That is true. Mike, how are you?
all right.
Good. I would ask BH how he's doing, but probably wouldn't get much of an answer since he's not here yet. Oof, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I was going to ask something. I don't know where Alex is. He would know this. If anybody else don't know, do they make just a monitor alone that is touch screen? Just a monitor.
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
My old man in Canada's got one. That's the reason I know.
Who makes it?
Oh, good question.
How would it work? Is an even better question.
Probably have to get drivers or whatever software. I mean, probably just install software that would activate the touchscreen.
I do remember he said that it was used at an airport.
Oh,
And he runs nothing but Linux.
It should work in Windows.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason I was saying if it works in Linux, then it works in Windows.
we are currently 48 degrees and mostly clear with an overnight low predicted of 37.
That'll make Mom cold.
Oh yeah, she wasn't real happy when I said, I think I'll open the sliding glass door and get some fresh air in here.
We're currently 59 with the low of 46 at 7 a.m.
Alex is on the way, by the way.
And for the Central California, it's 82, mostly cloudy. It will be high 50s.
Long Dog just showed up. Okay, fellas, what be going on? We're just
Yeah, I
getting
told you I'm
started.
here.
Well, now that Alex is here, we're got something going on. Evening, Alex. Been at least 62 minutes since we talked.
5th time, Ken. Seems like I've talked to you a bunch today since I got home from the interview.
This is probably 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th time, yeah. So, speaking of interview, the stage is yours, sir.
Well, do you know when Jeff said he was going to be here?
I do not actually know when Jeff said he's going to be here. I could maybe try to find out. Hang on one moment and I will see.
Greg, send Jeff a text message.
On your phone. He might be at
where
baseball.
is that thing?
He might be at the baseball thing. I'm not sure if he had that tonight or not.
Well, I just fill him in later than if the rest of y'all want to know.
Again, the stage is yours. The floor is yours.
So I went to the interview today.
Put him in the spotlight
for an in-person interview, and for the first time ever over the phone, Zoom or in person, had three people interviewing me, and all 3 of the people interviewing me are the 3 that are making the decision. It's that small of a company. It's only they've only got 20 employees. If I heard correctly, it's only 20 employees. They have no IT infrastructure whatsoever, other than wireless access. People bring in, they have mostly laptops and a couple desktops. But other than that, they have no IT infrastructure other than just their wireless, and the internet is actually provided through AT&T, but the internet is managed by the building because they're on the 10th floor up. They're in a 10-story building, and they're on the 10th floor, so the internet comes into the building by AT&T, and somebody else manages that connection. So there would be no need for me to worry about having be able to run Ethernet cables or do any kind of networking related stuff. So
what is the job?
What did you say, Wintermute?
What is the job then? Don't tell us what it isn't. Tell us what it is.
It's is IT support specialist for a very small company.
Okay.
Of a very small developing startup company of about 20 employees.
Did the interview go well?
Very well. They were very seemed very excited to have me there, and
That's great. That's awesome.
and asked me a lot of questions, and pretty much all the questions they asked, I answered,
Mhm.
just like they wanted me to, and I asked one question they wasn't expecting me to ask, and that's because I asked if there was anything that I would have to, because I'm in a wheelchair, if there was anything physically that I would have to do as far as running cables, doing stuff like that I wouldn't physically be able to do, and they said no. If there was anything, they could make accommodations, but as far as like running Ethernet cables and stuff like that, I wouldn't have to do any of that since it's managed by the building. But everything else went very well. Basically, I told them that I manage my dad's website, so they asked me about managing their website. They use Wix to do their Wix.com to do their website. I told them about all the stuff I did in college and about how I set up the server and all the workstations and everything. They don't have any of that right now. All they have is it's all the computers they have are set up like it's personal computers, like we have at home.
There's no server.
So I'm hoping that if they hire me, they'd be open to having me help them set up like a Windows server set up and have all the computers like I did it at college, because they asked me about would I prefer to have a ticketing system set up, or would I prefer to take tickets by email? How would I prefer to do that? And my response was, well, for probably the first month or so, I'd just do email just because it's easier. But then at some point, I'd implement some kind of ticketing system.
So they aren't running a domain right now?
They don't have a Windows Server Active Directory domain. The only domain they have is the domain name for their website. And
Okay.
their email addresses, their email addresses are first initial last name at the domain name.
Okay, but the computers are in a domain, although it's not Active Directory. I mean, a simple domain, whatever you
The
want to call it.
computer, no, well, a simple domain like you're referring to is the computers are technically in a work group, like what you have at your house. If you connect your computer to your router and it's on your network, it's technically a work group. A domain specifically refers to Active Directory.
Okay.
Well, at least
No,
the three
they're not.
bosses.
So it's just a group of computers then that, so each one is like you or I might have at home.
Right. That's what we had when before I set up the network at college. That's what it was. Every computer was just its own thing, like we have at home.
So each one has to have a Microsoft account and all that jazz?
I don't know if they've got the computer set up with Microsoft accounts or just have them set up with local accounts.
All right. That sounds like there's an opportunity there for you to make a contribution.
It really does. I really think so. And they were really surprised. They seemed really surprised that I told them that I looked at the video that they had posted and all of that they told me they had done about a month ago. So they were able to tell based on that I already knew quite a bit about them and all of that. And that's how I knew that they were all they're all ministers or preachers at least, and so a lot of what they do is like it's scripturally based. They base it scripturally on the Bible, and so I was able to tie a lot of my
Was this the farm group that
a lot of my church stuff into it. We was able to be on the same page as far as that goes. So
Now, their main thing is agricultural education, though, right? It may be faith-based, but it's still agricultural stuff, right? Was that the right website all of us were looking at the other day?
yes, it is. But they do all their stuff pretty much scripturally based.
All right. Well, I mean,
of course they are
it's-
preachers.
yeah, okay, well, it's fine. I'm just thinking that this is probably a pretty good opportunity. I mean, we don't know how many other folks they're interviewing, but I hope you've got a
The
shot at this
only-
anyway.
I only know for certain that they interviewed one other person. There was one other person right after me because they had an 11:30. They told me in email and in person that they had an 11:30 interview. So
Okay.
as far as I know, they could have it could just be against me and that other person,
Mhm.
and that's all they had was two.
All right, good.
good luck. I hope you get it.
Well, I really do too. Out of all of the ones I've had so far, I mean, this one's. I know I say that a lot. Like every interview, every in-person interview I have, especially, sounds a lot better than the last one, but this one especially sounds.
Yep.
Hey, Ken, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta reboot for something.
All right, Chris.
But anyway, Ken can take me off a spotlight. That's pretty much all I know about.
All right.
Are
Until
you sure?
other than they said that I should hear something. Asked me when I could start, and I said I could start basically a week from Monday. And so I would hope to hear a week from this coming Monday. So I would hope to hear something by next week, preferably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, so I have enough time to call and schedule my ride.
On site or off site?
On site.
Okay.
Does Jose have his hand up? Is that what that is?
Yes.
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Jose, have you got a question?
Homie.
Yes, I do, boy. Yes, I have a question or two questions, and each one is kind of two-part, but still kind of simple. Okay. Yeah, question for Alex. What were your feelings and thoughts during the interview, and what's your thoughts and feelings now post-interview?
My thoughts during the interview was that it basically was just more of a casual conversation than just an interview, which is a good sign. And my thoughts and feelings now is that I just hope that I know that there's nothing I can do to change it now, but I really hope that I get it.
Yep. Well, we're all pulling for you.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
And if I don't, I'll find something else at some point, or maybe the person that they do hire, something will happen, or they will figure out that they hired the wrong person and come back to me and hire me. But hopefully they won't make that choice. Hopefully, if they're gonna hire me, they hire me to begin with, because it sure sounds like they would. It sure sounds like these guys have their heads screwed on straight.
Well, if you could get a shot at this and go in there and build a domain for them and do some things, that'd be a good opportunity for you to get yourself sort of in on the ground floor of something like this. I know it's not brand new, but that sounds like a good opportunity for you.
What's the second question, Jose?
For me,
It was
You
two-part.
said-
He asked the two-part.
Oh, it's two-part question. Okay, got it. Never mind.
Unless he has more, I don't know.
Well, I thought he said he had two questions, and both of them were two-part questions, but I just
Oh.
could be having an old day, so.
I could be wrong.
Well, Craigslist went ahead and, Craigslist. eBay went ahead with the effing customer or the effing buyer and decided to not refund me. Apparently, he gave the tracking number as a response to eBay stepping in, and now I got an email saying that the case is closed and I am out of $300 and some.
Well, did you ever get a tracking number yourself?
Yeah, I got a tracking number. I got a box of.
He got the
Oh,
package,
books.
didn't he?
Yeah, I got a box full of books, and
It was supposed to be what?
a
Equipment?
computer. And I told them that I told eBay and I told the seller, you send me books, and I sent a picture of the box with the books in it. I sent it to
Okay, what are we doing?
I sent it to eBay, and they still went with the customer, or they still went with the buyer. They still bought his
Yeah,
story
that's-
to my story.
I was trying to see his background.
So you were buying computers and he got sent books. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so, and I tried to get,
I gotta
it
be
said
honest.
that mine was a money back guaranteed by eBay, and apparently eBay did not believe it. So
Don't
now I
they
gotta
have
find a
the
way to
ability to
make,
go
now I
back?
gotta now I gotta figure out a way to make the money to pay the person back that I borrowed the money from. So I'm F both ways.
And possibly stop using eBay?
Yeah.
I mean, that right
You have
there.
to be
Right.
careful. I have bought
ship
stuff
the
on
wrong
eBay. And I bought a computer one time and it came and it was what it said it was, but there was some damage to the monitor and I never got any satisfaction. It was,
Yeah.
I don't know, that was around 2004 or 5.
Yeah, eBay's a Wild West.
So I wrote the buyer back or the seller back, and I'm like, I'm gonna go on the news. So I've scheduled an appointment with the news, like national news, and I'm gonna go on there and I'm going to explain his username, and I'm gonna show pictures of the computers that he sells, and I'm gonna see if eBay will refund me then.
What news channel is this?
Yeah, I need to know the date and the news outlet, please.
It's gonna be like local news there in Phoenix.
No, it's gonna be all over the world. I'm gonna go on national news, not local news, because he's in Texas, so I need it to be able to be seen there, and I don't know where eBay is, and I need them to be able to see it too. So, yeah,
I think eBay is in California.
yeah.
Did you give him a 0-star review?
He blocked me. I can't
Yeah, right.
post any reviews on his channel. After I threatened that I was gonna put him on the news, he blocked me. And
I
now
didn't know you could be
eBay-
blocked from giving a
now-
review on something you bought.
Yeah, and now eBay
That doesn't
threatening
make
to take
sense.
my account away. They're threatening to delete my account. Whatever. Go fuck yourself, eBay, and go screw
Remember,
yourself.
we're streaming Family Channel.
Jose, what was your other question?
See, I'm not the only one. Thank you.
Well, that was it was a similar question, but divided into his thoughts and feelings during the interview and post.
Oh,
Like I said, I felt like it was just a casual conversation during and post. I basically my only feelings is I hope they feel the same way I do about it. Basically give it to me.
and we'll pull for you, Ellie. I have an
Yep.
update on the question I asked last night.
Bob whatchamacallit
Everything.
in the chat. Hi, Bob.
All
Go ahead,
right.
Jeff.
Well, that friend of mine asked me about getting his printer running, and he did what I asked him to, hook it up with a USB cable and run Windows Update, and it got drivers and installed it, and he can print. Now, I asked him, has he tried scanning yet, and he hasn't. So if that doesn't work, I'll probably end up going over there and installing the HP software for him. But so far, so good.
Well, no, what I would try to do is I'd try to have him do the HP Smart app from the Microsoft Store.
Let me
That-
write that down. I couldn't remember what you guys were saying last night.
Yes,
That
it
would be
That
good
requires
for
it to be
someone
connected on
change.
Wi-Fi, and he don't want it to be connected on Wi-Fi.
doesn't have to be connected to
Well,
Wi-Fi.
No, he
Why
doesn't
USB?
need it on Wi-Fi. He's only got one computer.
It doesn't need to be connected to
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
I thought
HP
in order for
Smart
that
app?
app to work, you needed the printer to be on.
Since
It's
when?
called HP Smart App, Jim.
HP Smart is the name of the app. It's in the Microsoft Store,
All right, all
and
right.
I have used it, and I have never had to have a printer on Wi-Fi. I don't know where you got that one from.
All right. Well, no, he's got it hooked up with a USB cable. So,
No, that's addressed to Alex. I don't know where he got the
Okay.
Wi-Fi thing from.
all right. Well, I'll talk to him tomorrow about that. Anyway, appreciate the info. I couldn't remember the name of what you said last night, but it does print at least right now. So it's progress.
So, anything else you want to share, Alex?
Nothing that I can think of, unless there's something I told you earlier that I can't remember that you want to.
I think you pretty well
Bring up.
covered it. I can't think of anything you missed, actually. So, I know that we are all pulling.
Just the
for
fact
this.
that I had the interview with three people instead of just one kind of gives me a little more confidence, I guess you'd say. And
Well, you did mention something about he asked you a very specific question, and after you answered it, do you remember what the question was?
no, I asked them a very specific question.
Oh,
I asked them if there'd be anything physical I'd have to do, like running cables or whatnot.
no, yeah.
And he said no, and I never thought of that or something along those lines.
Right.
That's
No,
he said that's a very good question. I never thought of that.
Yeah, you just said earlier today he asked you something specifically about computers and either networking or how they function or something. And when you answered it, he said, "Well, clearly you know your stuff." Do you remember what?
Yeah,
that
he did.
was?
He asked me if I knew what a private IP address was, and I went on to rattle off. Class A is 10.x.x.x, and class B is 172. Blah, and class C is 192.168, and that's what he responded with that comment about was that, and that's pretty much the only specific technical question he asked me,
Okay.
other than about like their website and
Hmm.
all that, because I
So,
mentioned
well,
that.
Alex, let me ask you about, so is that like what you get when you have network address translation in a router?
Yes,
It's used
yes,
inside the network? Okay,
exactly.
all right.
Ken, I don't know if it's just me, but your volume is a little low, your audio. You want to bump that up a little? On
Well,
Zoom?
if I could, I would. My audio is actually sitting. Oh, in Zoom?
Yes. Yes, it's a little low even in
That's
Zoom.
rare. We'll go check that out. So for once, it's not YouTube, but it's Zoom. Interesting.
So at this point, I feel like I don't want to make it sound like I'm a know-it-all or anything like that, but I don't see how at this specific point, I don't see how anybody else they interview could give them, more information that I can give them in a very short 30 or 40-minute amount of time.
Now let's test the audio now. How does the audio sound in Zoom?
Little louder.
Yeah,
Better.
it's a bit louder.
I like cranked it up almost all the way and it didn't really do that much. That's interesting. So is this microphone working? Let me kill the Blue Yeti.
So Sean, did you see Lawn Dog's question in the chat?
Audio check.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so it's not
5
coming
to
through the
5.
Yeti. Okay, cool. I'll
If
go
you-
Oh,
ahead.
I paid PayPal. I mean, I could call PayPal and see if they could help me,
Yeah.
because I know PayPal is good at repaying people. Yeah, I could contact PayPal.
Let me go make
See
one
if they'll
more
refund it.
quick change here. Make sure it did it right.
I think I have a better choice of them refunding me.
Worth the
Because
shot.
they really don't know what all got sent to me or what I ordered. I don't think PayPal knows a lot of that. Maybe PayPal will do it
Now how's the audio?
Good.
better.
All right, I'm gonna leave it
better
right
than
there. Audio sitting exactly even with the video, or the audio for the mic sitting the same for the audio for you guys. So I think it'll be okay. That's weird.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
No, I say it's okay.
Oh, okay. All right, good, good. What are we up to? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14? No, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't add, I can't hear. Well, thanks for being here. I'll see you guys on Monday.
Yes. If you were to ask me if there's one thing I didn't like about it,
Okay, Alex, is there one thing you didn't like about it?
that the building was built in like 1926, and so it's 100 years old, and like the elevators like really small, like so small that I couldn't even turn around. I had to like I went in forwards into the elevator, and I had to like back out in order to get out.
Can I ask another question?
Pretty much, but I don't have nothing to do with the actual interview.
I've got another question. What year is this?
What is it, 1923?
years old.
No, I was asking Alex, what year is this?
It's 2022 right now.
And when was the building built?
I believe somewhere around 1926.
Okay, so it's not quite 100 years old then, right? I'm just checking your math skills, that's all.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm not trying to be exact.
Oh, okay. So you forgot to put the word approximately in there then. Right? Do you want to put me in the waiting room?
No.
Are you sure?
And also there's the fact that my mom doesn't my mom gives me a hard time after when I come out of the interview and get in the car and proceed to tell her that I want to go to wherever to eat down the street. She's like, she don't like it because she's not familiar with downtown Little Rock. And we get there, park where we're eating. It's free to park at the interview, but then we get down there where we're eating and it costs $5, and you gotta text a number to it. You gotta text a code to a number and click a link and put your card number in there, or spend $5 to park.
Welcome to the big city.
And that's not even, Little Rock is not even half the size of.
No, was that $5 for an hour or was that $5 all day?
That was $4.85 exactly.
Well,
For
that's
an
$5.
hour. Approximately $5 for an hour.
Oh God, am I muted? Yeah, it's good. Oh, good golly! I had to mute myself. I was laughing so hard.
But
Are you okay getting off the floor, King?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I've got to be honest, I don't have to think. If I go down there by myself and ride my wheelchair down there down the sidewalk to go somewhere on my lunch break or wherever, I don't have to. That's not something, or take their public transportation bus around the city. That's something I don't have to think about. Is I don't have to pay for parking because I have my own transportation.
And since you've not mentioned it yet, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you did not ask them about their internet speed, correct?
But I would assume since the internet there is managed by the building, I would assume the internet is at least a gig. I think that's a safe assumption.
You mean you didn't test it?
I did not. I know that's a shocker, but I did.
Shame on you.
Conceivable.
But you were prepared to, in the event they would have asked you, do you know what our internet speed is, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh, believe me, he would have.
Yes, if they would have asked me, can you do this on our computer? Can you do that? I would have definitely.
Oh my God.
And this is gonna shock Jim. They have Windows and Macs. So when I first went in the front door and look at the front desk, guess what I see? An iMac sitting on the desk.
Did you advise him that you don't do Mac?
Oh, he does Mac.
Yeah.
I thought he does Mac, doesn't he?
Yeah, I do.
No, I'm just pulling his chain.
Okay.
That's what I explained to them. I really don't have any Mac experience. About the only Mac experience I have is a really old 2010, 2011 model Mac my high school had. But I explained to them that I have so much Windows knowledge and Linux knowledge that
somebody gonna ship you a Mac.
Figure out, how to operate a Mac. It's the same settings, just worded a little bit different
If you
icons, but it's
if
pretty
you
much all.
have some Linux command line knowledge, Mac is based on BSD Unix for a microcomputer in part, not counting all of the graphical interface stuff.
It'll be fine, just as long as they don't ask me to take apart a Mac. That'll be
I told him I had experience taking a Mac and dumping it in a trash can, but
Wasn't somebody gonna ship you a Mac to take apart?
Yeah, I thought you had a Mac on the way a couple weeks ago.
I haven't heard anything else about that.
Yeah.
What they do is they ask me to do stuff, message me, and they basically forget about it.
Yeah.
Basically forget about me.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I want actual official job, is because then I know I have something to do somewhere to go, something to do every.
Now, how you gonna get there every day?
Getting there, I'll use my public transportation to get me there, but to get home, I have to use my mom because it'll be 8 to 4:30, and they won't pick me up. They're gonna be buttholes about it. They're not gonna pick me up at 4:30 because I'm private. I'm a private paid customer. I'm not a Medicare or Medicaid. Going to work or going to college.
Yeah, and like we talked earlier, though, Alex, you might get lucky, and they might know, a different transportation.
That building they're in is mostly lawyers. It's mostly law offices. So I mean, they got people in that building that probably know a thing or two about.
Quite possible. Very possible. So does anyone have any questions for the young professor?
Well, he already answered mine.
How many computers did you say there were?
Their Windows,
How many in the office?
they didn't specify a number, but it's mostly laptops. They all pretty much carry laptops, and there may be 2 or 3 desktops.
It's a pretty small network.
I think didn't you say there's about 20 people that work there, you thought?
20 people. So if you need rough estimate, I'd say a computer per person, that's about 20 computers, which is less than I managed at college. I managed about 40 or 50 at college.
So when you told him that you have experience running Josh's network, did that impress him?
No, I didn't tell him a thing about Joshy. not about Joshy, but I told him about that I'm getting on Zoom with a bunch of old people. And I learned a lot from.
Oh, that is so waiting room, majority.
Waiting room, yeah.
Okay, I'm out of here.
So actually, tell him the way you told me earlier today. You sugarcoated that. Tell him the way you told me before I put you in the waiting room.
I told them that I get on Zoom with a bunch of 50 and 60 and 70-year-olds every night till 2 o'clock in the morning, and it gives me the ability to learn quite a bit about what all of y'all did, like Greg's Navy computer knowledge and Jeff's computer knowledge from 20, 30 years ago.
Oh my God.
He did. He did. Although he did tack on some kind of a title to Jeff, but he couldn't remember what it was. So it's just some old fart with a lot of knowledge.
That's fairly accurate.
So
if you got a bunch of old DOS computers that want to put stuff up in high memory and all that sort of thing, I'm your guy. Or used to be. Then, so anyway, well, we'll pull for you, Alex. Hopefully,
do you want to tell him about the phone call tonight that woke me out of my nap I was taking, or do you want me to tell him?
This sounds bad.
You can tell him.
Okay.
I've talked enough today.
Boy, he's got that right. He talked.
Tell us, Ken, after you put him in the waiting room.
Exactly. Why do you think I put him in the waiting room for?
Oh, I didn't see.
He'll come back smiling. He called me at 5:30 his time to say, Ken, I think you're wrong about today. I don't think they're going to call me and offer me a job. I sure hope they call him early next week. I really do. I'll let him back in now.
Oh, I got another question.
Alex, how was the waiting room?
Alex, I do have another question for you.
Yes.
What brand computers are they using there?
He said Mac and PC.
Well, I mean, I know you saw some Mac, but of the
Mac, and I would assume Dell's. I don't remember if they told me. I would assume Dell's.
Most places I have worked in recent years were Dell shops, but the last place I worked was an HP shop. So
it don't matter. They all pretty much operate the same, you know.
And the HP ones, they weren't like pavilions or whatever. They were the higher end model business models. They were okay.
Alex, did they ask you any hypothetical questions about like what would you do in this situation or anything along that lines?
They asked me like, let me see if I can remember. How would you handle security procedures for confidential information? And like, how would you deal with giving information to like higher management, like people above you? How would you deal with people above you? Those are the only two that I can remember right off the top of my head.
Okay. And your answers were? We'll come back to that one.
I know you put me in the waiting room if I tell you I forgot.
No, I wouldn't. You had
No, when
Go
you're
ahead.
dealing with people above you, you need to think carefully about how you explain things to them.
Yep.
Well, I was dealing with people above me today. Those three people that was interviewing me would essentially the people that make all the decisions.
Right, but you have to be able to judge sometimes what they may or may not want to hear and explain it in a way that is at least to your benefit a little bit. And I don't mean by falsifying anything, but you just need to explain things in a way that once you learn what their likes and dislikes are, there's always politics at work, wherever you work for any company, big or small. And you have to learn to judge that after being there a little while. You just got to think about what you do. I can't say exactly what you need to do because that depends on every company individually.
Well, it sounds like overall it was a pretty good interview for you.
Yeah.
One thing that they guy said, like I was on Ken, that really surprised me is the guy that asked me the technical question about the IP addresses, before he said that, he asked me, he said, so I don't want this to sound like I'm insulting your intelligence, but we just have to ask these questions just because he said, or something to that effect. So even before he asked me the question, he obviously knew that I sounded like I knew what I was talking about.
Well, +2, didn't you say the requirements say you just needed a high school education?
Yes. So it said they would take somebody with just a high school education.
Right.
Well, you're above
They did
that
not
in terms of
specify,
training and experience.
any kind of degree. They only specified high school education or with 2 years experience or whatever, or degree or whatever. But they didn't really they didn't say, we prefer a bachelor's degree, require a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or anything like that, or not even an associate's degree.
Okay. Well, I can't think of anything else. Anyone else think of any questions they would like to ask
I would
the
just
professor?
say, if they feel satisfied that you're technically qualified, then the only other question is it'll be their judgment as to how well you fit into the organization. And if they got two people that are technically qualified, then it's their judgment which one fits in better. And that's,
But if my hope, and of course there's no way for me to know this ever, and once I get hired and I ask after I'm hired, after it's all over, my hope is that I am more technically qualified than the other person they interviewed.
well, you hope
Bless
that.
you.
But it's like the last job I actually interviewed for, which has been 20 years now, or a little more. Based on the experience I had, and that I knew some people that were already working there. When they brought me in for the interview afterwards, they said, we knew you were qualified before we brought you in, but the question was, could you get along with everybody? Would you fit in? Sort of thing.
Well, based on their technical questions and their just general talking to me and all of that, it's pretty clear to me that they think that I would be a pretty good fit, with their mission and what they all
Well,
that
it
they
sounds like it, and we hope that's right. I mean, it just, say that because this is in part seems to be underlying this.
because
as
they
kind of
have a
faith-based
have a-
organization.
have a
I think
biblical
you fit in well with that.
just like I do. So
Yeah, I
Did
think
you have
fit
a
in
chance
well
to
with
bring
that.
up your church and your church related activities?
of course.
stuff?
Yes, because that's a big part of what they do is
Yeah, that would fit
Well, I
well.
think that's in your
Bible-based
favor then.
spiritual stuff, and that's what. So they talk to a bunch of like preachers and ministers and do a lot of outreach activities, and community activities, and youth and different things. So that's a big part of their business model.
Cool.
And this also gives me an advantage over the other person that was coming in right after me for interview. I was earlier for my interview than the other person was. The other person was just coming in as I was leaving, and so I jokingly said to them, and they understood this. I jokingly said to them, so that guy's not as that guy coming in just for the interview now is not as early as I was he? And they said, well, no, he wasn't. You were definitely earlier.
And he said that jokingly.
That was funny. If he asked me for,
You have to be careful with that kind of stuff.
I have a question,
Hopefully
Alex.
everything will go well for you.
Yes, BH.
Is this a contract or full-time?
it's a full time. Between 35 and 45,000 a year based on experience.
Do you have access to health benefits, 401k, stuff like that? Did they talk about any of
I
that?
haven't looked into it, but I really none of that stuff really applies to me, bothers me at this point in time. I just want the
Well, that's an important part of it for you, because if you get to a certain level of income, then you're going to lose some of the stuff you get from the state.
well, I know I'm going to lose all that no matter what job I get working for whatever
I
company.
understand. So it's important for you to have at least reasonable health care benefits wherever you go, and that could be a deal breaker. That's something you really need to find out about: healthcare, 401k, all those sort of things before you say yes to a job offer. Because if you don't have any healthcare benefits, a good portion of your salary will go towards buying insurance someplace, and it won't be as good of insurance as you can get through a company. So, something you need to think about a little bit.
Alex, think real hard before you do that, because if something happens and you have to quit or whatever, it might, I don't know how hard it will be to get your benefits back.
Oh, it would be
that can
basically,
probably be-
according to my mom, it'd basically be a whole start over. We'd have to, if I lose the benefits, we'd have to completely start all the way over again. Fill out all the paperwork, do all that.
Right.
That's what I
Yeah,
understand.
Well, I need a caffeine refill. Shall return. Oh.
I didn't know Samuel Adams had caffeine in it.
So yeah, but to answer the third part, I guess, of Jose's answer to his question is when I go for it, when I have an interview, especially an in-person interview, I've just always assumed that I'm not going, even if they tell me they're going to, that I'm not going to get a call back, that I'm not going to get an email back, and that I'm definitely not going to get the job unless I hear otherwise.
Alex, I think I heard you say something about, they told you you could start next Monday.
They asked me when I'd be able to start. I told them I could start a week from Monday. That would give me time to schedule out all my transportation and do all that kind of stuff. And they said that I would hear something before that date, because I asked when I would hear back, and they said I would hear before the date I said I could start. Something like that.
So like within the week.
So like, that's the reason why I said hopefully I'll hear something Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, because if I hear something Friday, I won't be able to, even if it's a yes, I won't be able to, that won't give me enough time to call and schedule my transportation for Monday, because my transportation needs 2 full 48-hour business days in order to schedule schedule me a trip.
I got a question on the transportation. We may have already discussed this. I don't remember. What's the earliest your transportation company can pick you up?
Now that I believe they can pick me up. That answer I really don't know the answer to.
Well, the reason
I
I
really
ask,
don't. When I was picked up from here to go to college, I used to be picked up at like 8 o'clock, 8:30.
right, but you have to be at work at 8 o'clock, right?
Right.
And it's a what, 35 minute drive?
And it was some days that I was told that I had to that I was going to be picked, that they was going to pick me up at like 7, because they had some other people to pick up before taking me and drop off before taking me to college. Because believe it or not, I've actually had to ride to Little Rock, drop people off. I've actually had to go pick up people at their houses, take those people to Little Rock, and drop those people off before going to college. And when I did that, that made a normal 30-minute drive from my house to college a 2-hour drive.
Right, and that's kind of
versus a 30-minute.
Right, that's kind of why I ask what's the earliest they can pick you up, because let's just say you got to be at work at 8 o'clock, and they say, "Oh, we'll pick you up at 7:25," and then they go halfway through the state of Arkansas picking everybody up, and you don't get to work till 9 o'clock. And if you could schedule it earlier, just to be safe.
That's the reason why. If I have to be at work at 8, which I know I will be if I get this job.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to be at work at 8, I will tell them that I need to be picked up from here probably no later than I tell them when I need to be there at wherever I'm going, and they tell me when they're going to pick me up. So I probably tell them I need to be there about probably 7:15. At the very latest, 7:30.
Okay. You want Mrs. K to get involved with scheduling this for you?
Because when it's them,
I'll take that as a no.
You never know how late they're going to be. You never know how early they're going to be. It's a toss up every day. It could be it's a
sure
possibility to be a totally different driver every day, totally brand new that I've never had driver every single time.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, let me go ahead and get these stream ended. We're right at an hour. Greg Guy was second tonight. You're getting better, Greg. You should be first tomorrow night. Tony Waller was first. Robert Michael, Mike Paradin, John Alloy Sr. It's good seeing you. Bob Watching-McCullough joined us in the chat room for a minute or two. And Long Dog was there as well. Tony Waller, good night. I'll see you gentlemen tomorrow night, probably 10:45, 11 o'clock again. And then, of course, Daily Da Vinci, which there will be something editing-wise on Daily Da Vinci on Monday. I've already got it kind of working. And when I say kind of working, I've opened up Daily Da Vinci and I've made progress. So there will be something actually to be explained and shown, and you guys will be going, ooh, ah. I try. All right, I'm going to end the stream. Greg, did I mention your name enough now? I want to make sure we're good.
Yeah, I'll let you pass this time.
Okay. I didn't want to have to restart the stream before I end it, so we're good, right?
I guess so.